everybody, and welcome to Museum Munchkins. I'm Mr. Nick, and today we are talking all about butterflies. So we're going to start off by singing a butterfly song if you want to stand up on your feet. Excellent. Now in this song, we're going to pretend that we're going to be a butterfly, but we're going to start as a baby butterfly and grow all the way up to a big butterfly. So do you know what a baby butterfly is called? A caterpillar. Yeah, so we're going to be caterpillars to start off in this song. And as we're caterpillars, we're going to wiggle around. So can you be the best wiggly self you can be? Let's wiggle our bodies all around. Very good, because caterpillars are very wiggly. And then, when we're the next stage of a butterfly's life, a chrysalis, that's sort of what they go inside before they become a big, beautiful butterfly. So when we're a chrysalis, then we're going to grow from a wiggly caterpillar to a sleepy, still chrysalis, and we're not going to move at all. We're going to stay very still. Very good. And then when the chrysalis opens up, we're going to be big, beautiful butterflies and flap our wings. Are you ready to sing our butterfly song? Excellent. Here we go. I bet you can follow along with all of those different actions. I'm a caterpillar, wiggle with me. I'm a caterpillar, wiggle with me. I'm a caterpillar, wiggle with me. What will I be, my darling? Very good wiggling. I'm a chrysalis, now sleep like me. I'm a chrysalis, now sleep like me. I'm a chrysalis, now sleep like me. What will I be, my darling? Very good, we're really still. And now let's make our chrysalises open up. Because now, I'm a butterfly, come fly with me. I'm a butterfly, come fly with me. I'm a butterfly, come fly with me. What will I be, my darling? Very good. Now let's do all three. Are you ready? Now all together, let's do all three. A caterpillar, wiggly, a chrysalis, be a sleepy chrysalis, a butterfly, three. Let's flap our wings like a butterfly. Very good. Move your body like this with me. The life of a butterfly, darling. Very good. Thank you so much for being a butterfly with me for that in that song. I'm going to set my guitar down so we can talk all about butterflies. Have you ever seen a butterfly before? I bet you have if you've been outside during the spring or the summer or the fall even sometimes. So we find butterflies all over the world. We find them everywhere except down here in Antarctica and in places that are really cold like Greenland and Iceland. We do find butterflies in Iceland sometimes, but Greenland and Antarctica, places where it's really cold, we don't find butterflies, but we find them over the rest of the world. And they're a really interesting group of insects. So, because they're insects, all 17,500 different species of butterflies all have a few things in common because they're insects. So, they all have an exoskeleton. That means that the hard part of their body is on the outside. So the hard part of our body, can we feel some of the hard parts? I can feel my head. There's some hard bones in there. And there's some hard bones in my arms and in my chest and in my legs. So the hard part of our body is inside, but in a butterfly and other insects, the hard part of their body is on the outside. That's called an exoskeleton. So they also have 2 eyes, and 2 antennae that stick off their head like this. That's kind of what they sense the world with them, around them with. They can kind of smell with those. They have 6 legs on their bodies. We only have 2 legs, right? 6 legs, and they have 3 body segments. 3 of them. They have a head, They have a thorax, that's kind of the middle part where all 6 of their legs connect. And then the long skinny pit at the end of a butterfly is called the abdomen. So they have those 3 body segments. Now, butterflies come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, even though they have those things in common. Shapes and sizes and colors. The Queen Alexandria birdwing butterfly is the biggest butterfly in the world. Its wings can be up to 11 inches across. That's a really big butterfly. And then the smallest butterfly is called the pygmy blue butterfly. And it is just half an inch across. It is very, very small. Now, all butterflies go through the same sort of life cycle, just like we sang about in our song. So they all start out as teeny tiny little eggs. And the most butterflies lay their eggs on the kind of plants that their caterpillars might like to eat and munch on when they hatch, so that when the eggs hatch, they can start eating right away. Now, some eggs of butterflies hatch in just a few days, but other types of butterflies, their eggs take months to hatch for those caterpillars to come out, to get big enough to hatch out of their eggs. Now, when they do hatch, they come out as those tiny little caterpillars. The caterpillars start off very small, and they look a little bit like wiggly little worms. Remember how we were wiggling in our song? So they look a little bit like wiggly little worms. And if you look closely, you can see that they have 2 eyes, and 6 legs, and 3 body segments. Now, you might be thinking, now I've seen a caterpillar, and they have way more than 6 legs, but they don't. They have a couple little sticky extra bumps at the end of their body, around their abdomen, but they actually only have 6 legs. And those 6 legs are stuck to the middle part of their body, to their thorax. So those other little sticky bumps are called prolegs. They're not actually real legs. Now, the first thing a caterpillar does when it hatches, it will munch up its shell of its egg that it just came out of. That's the very first food that they eat. And then they eat all the plants that they can find. Anything that looks good to them, they will start munching on, and they will get bigger and bigger. Now, as a caterpillar grows, its skin will start to get a little bit tight, so it will shed its old skin and grow a new skin. Because remember, we said the hard part of an insect is on the outside. So they have to, as they get bigger, they have to shed the outside of their body to make room to get bigger. So they will shed that skin, and once it gets to the full size of the caterpillar needs to get, it's time for the next stage of their life cycle. So they will spin some silk around the outside of themselves and attach that silk to a twig or a stick, making a chrysalis around the outside of it. So inside a chrysalis, there's just one caterpillar inside the chrysalis, and then inside there, the caterpillar starts to change. It's called a pupa now, and in a while, it will become an adult butterfly. Now that can take a few days, only a few days to become a butterfly, but some butterflies in their chrysalis take up to a year to turn into big adult butterflies, depending on the butterfly. Now, when it's time, the chrysalis will crack open at the bottom of it. It will crack open, and the butterfly will crawl its way out of the bottom. And right now, when it first crawls out, its wings are very soft and really wrinkly. They don't really look like wings at all, the big, beautiful wings of a butterfly. So what they do is they'll pump their blood out into their wings to stretch their wings out. Then they'll wait for their wings to dry and harden, and then they can start to fly. Now, butterflies are very, very beautiful insects. Their wings are covered in little tiny scales that make all the different colors that we see when we look at them. So sometimes those scales can make an interesting pattern. Maybe they make stripes or polka dots that look like eyeballs to scare other animals away. Or sometimes the colors on their wings our different colors to blend in with their surroundings so other animals can't see them at all. So it just depends on the butterfly. And today we have a very fun story about a very hungry caterpillar. And let's see what kind of butterfly that caterpillar becomes. Today's story is The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomachache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. Now he was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. Actually, a chrysalis. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the chrysalis, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. The end. Oh my gosh, that was a story about a very hungry caterpillar that turned into a beautiful butterfly. And we're going to make some beautiful butterflies of our own today using just a few things. So we're going to need today some watercolors, some watercolor paints, and a paintbrush. And since we're using watercolors, we're going to need some water. I have mine in an old recycled yogurt container. We're going to need some coffee filters. And I've got a black pipe cleaner that I cut in 2 pieces so I can make 2 butterflies. So what we're going to do, the first thing, take our coffee filter and spread it out flat on our table, wherever we're going to paint. Then I'm going to take my watercolors and let's get them a little bit wet. Start to get these watercolors a little wet so we can paint with them. And then I just need to decide what sort of butterfly am I going to paint today. So I think I'm going to start off with some orange paint. And I'm going to paint some big, beautiful orangey wings on my butterfly coffee filter here. I'm going to use lots of orange paint. I have to keep adding water to watercolors. That's how we paint with them. So in order for watercolors to work, they have to be wet. Get some more water on there. See, you can see I'm starting to paint nice, beautiful orangey color on there. So maybe I'll make those wings orange, the top of the wings orange. So I'll do the same thing on both sides. That's the thing about butterflies. So when you look at them, they might be all sorts of different colors, but the colors, their wings are the same on both sides. So their left wings look just like the right wings. And vice versa. The right wings look just like the left wings. Okay, so there I've got two nice big orangey triangles on there. And now I think I'm gonna do, some blue on here too. I think blue could look really cool, but I'm not gonna do a ton of blue, maybe just a few blue stripes on there. Ooh, I think I like that. How that looks. Nice blue stripes. And then I think I'm actually gonna add some black stripes too along the top of my orangey wings, kind of like a monarch butterfly. Have you ever seen that butterfly before? Monarchs are a really interesting butterfly that we find around here. They like to lay their eggs on milkweed plants. All right, now I'm going to add 2 green dots. 1 green dot on both sides, I think. There we go. And I think around the green, I'm going to put some purple, because purple and green look really nice together. They're complementary colors. There we go. So I'm going to make a nice purple ring around the outside of my green dot. There we go. Accidentally put some blue on there when I reach for the purple. Reach a little too far and grab some blue. That's okay. And now I'm going to put a little bit of brown, I think, right down the middle. Just a little bit of brown right down the middle here. So that when it's open like this, it kind of looks like the butterfly's body. But it's not going to stay open like this for very long. Because in the next step, I'm going to kind of squish it up. I've painted my coffee filter. There we can go. We can see this beautiful sort of butterfly shape I've made. Now, we could just hang it up like that, because that kind of looks like a butterfly, right? We've got the wings, and they look the same on both sides. Perfect, but I'm actually going to do something kind of interesting with it and try to make it look more like a real butterfly. I'm going to pinch it in the middle like this and take my pipe cleaner and wrap it around the middle here like this, and then give it a couple twists. How about, let's say 1, 2, 3 twists. And now look, I can stretch those wings back out, and I've got 2 antennae there and my beautiful butterfly wings. And you could make a whole big fluttery flock of these butterflies, all different colors, whatever you would like to do. And they look really cool when you hang them in a window and the sun can shine through them. Oh, they look so cool. So thank you so much for joining us today as we learned about butterflies. And I hope that we see you next week for another episode of Museum Munchkins. Thanks for joining us.